Welcome to Fire From Within. I'm your host, Lauren Tallarico, and today I have an amazing guest, Diva Richards, owner of Hard Work, No Excuses. Diva, welcome and thank you for being here.
Yo, anything for you. You called, I am here.
Awesome, thank you. So tell me, Hard Work, No Excuses, tell me about it.
Hard Work, No Excuses is my baby. So I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years now. Started doing classes in the park, and I love telling this story because I started doing classes in the park, nobody came, right? And
for free, like you're not charging?
For free. This is when I first started over 20 years ago. Nobody came. So to graduate from that and going through the process of eventually building a client book and building a reputation or a brand, as we now say, because 10 years ago nobody was saying brand, right? To build a brand and create a space where not only I can teach trainers and other coaches how to build their own businesses individually. The goal is not for them to stay with me forever. The goal is for them to grow and to create a space where clients can really, really not only come in and get better physically, but really change their mindset.
I know you're big on mindset because I follow you on Instagram. So tell me, how do you tie the mindset into the actual physical training? So
what we do is we have a collective energy. So everyone I've hired, everybody who was a part of my team, they all live and breathe the no excuses motto. So from the moment you walk in the door, one of the first things you see in my facility is a sign that says, leave your excuses here.
I like that. That's powerful.
Like that's the first thing you see. So once you see that, we've already started to shift the way you think. I don't care how bad your day was. I don't care if your spouse upset you. Right now, this is your time to better you. You come in, you get greeted. All the class formats are meant to push you, but also make you mentally stronger. We're not there to break you and destroy you. We're there to show you what's possible.
I love
so
that.
It's a really different, I think it's a different approach to fitness as a whole, because we're not there to beat you up and break you down, and I want you laying on the floor crawling and rolling out. I don't need that. I need you to be better than when you came in.
Wow, that's amazing. And I can feel your energy. I can feel
Thank you.
So are the workouts, are they barbell based, hip based? Like what are you doing?
We do what I like to say hybrid mixed medium. So essentially that means we have your traditional gym set up. We have your regular machines, equipment, dumbbells, and we have a large functional space. And our classes are set up so you're doing what I like mixed medium. You're doing kettlebells and TRX. You're doing sled pushes, tire flips, sledgehammer slams, all that, running on treadmills, getting off the treadmill, you know, you're doing yoga, you're doing Pilates, you're doing boxing, you're doing kickboxing. Like, we are constantly challenging our members in as many ways possible to just have them ready, have them be prepared, have them be fit and well. I don't care about their abs, and I know they want abs. Everybody wants abs, but the goal is to make sure they're fit and able to move.
I like that. I like that. What's the biggest challenge when you have a new client?
To make them feel welcome. So what we do is when they come in, I was just talking to somebody about this today, about when new clients come to our gym. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't have to. You walk in, the first thing we do, I'm already treating you like you joined because I already know you're going to love it here. I'm going to introduce you to everybody. By the time you leave, you're going to know the names of all the trainers and feel like when you come back, you're like, okay, that's Brandon, that's Karen. I want to try Danielle's class. We're going to already ingrain you in our ecosystem, and that's the goal.
So there's really a sense of community in your gym.
Oh yeah, big on community.
Do you do things outside the gym together, or?
The staff or the members?
The members.
But we haven't been, I've been open, it'll be 4 years in May.
Okay.
So we started 2 years of the pandemic. So now I know. I'm so glad to be here, okay? 2 years of the pandemic, and now we're back to, I have some things actually planned for them in the spring. Hopefully they don't see this and be like, ooh, what are we doing? But I have some things coming up for them in the spring.
Oh, I think that's huge. A sense of community definitely makes it like a feel-good place to be.
Absolutely. Community is everything for me. So I always say without them, there is no me. I'd just be some crazy chick with a building. Like, who cares?
So you mentioned it a little. You started out just hosting free workouts outside, was it the art museum steps or?
So I would do them at the art museum. I would do them at Cooper River Park. When I really got into personal training, because I was already teaching group fitness. I used to be in Philly. I used to teach 20 classes a week. It was crazy. I used to just run around the city, walk around, teach, go gym to gym. When I decided I wanted to get more into the one-on-one space, I had to, build a rapport, build a name for myself. So I would offer these free classes to try to get new one-on-one clients. And when I first started, nobody came.
Was that discouraging, and how did you find your way through that?
It was. But I knew ultimately my goal was to be this trainer, to provide this service. I knew I had value to add to the world. So I really just kept going. When I tell people you have to be resilient, I mean it, because I do it daily and I've done it. And when you really lock into that mindset, oh man, anything's possible. It sounds cliche, but it's true.
But it's holding the vision.
It is.
Moving.
Can't let it go. You can't ever let it go. If the goal wasn't ever for me to own a gym. The goal for me was to be a successful trainer.
And then it grew into this.
Yeah. And then once I got to the point where it was either train 90 hours a week, to make more money, or really build something solid, I said, maybe it's time to take that leap. Let's see what else I can create. What can I build? How can I continue to change the people I come in contact with? So, yeah.
Was there fear there when you decided, hey, I'm going to open this facility?
Terrified.
Terrified?
Terrified. Because though I felt like it was the right thing to do, everybody around me, bad idea. Don't do it. Too many gyms in the area. You're not going to make it, Diva. There's no way. Nobody's going to come. You don't have enough people to come.
So the people surrounding you had these limited beliefs,
They
but
did.
you had this mindset that this is where I'm going and it's happening.
You just got to lock and load.
Lock and load.
Lock and load, stay in the pocket, stay focused. You can't veer off the path. Once you make that decision that you're like, this is what I'm building, this is what I'm building. Even when I was in construction, people were still like, she's not going to do it. It gets back. People talk. There's no way she's going to do it.
Did that give you more fire? You know what?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And it still drives me to this day. Even when the pandemic happened, I was like, all right, this sucks. And I was like, what am I going to do? And again, all I heard was the people she ain't going to make it. She's not going to be able to do it. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out right now. And we did.
What did you do during the pandemic? Did you go to virtual classes?
Yeah,
outside?
We went virtual actually right away.
Okay.
It was, for some reason, I don't know, before people were even kind of figuring that part out, I was like, we're going on Zoom. So we started doing Zoom classes, and we offered virtual written programs, because I already kind of had software for that. We just weren't using it quite yet. And then once we could gather, I took classes outside right away. Because where our building is, we can use that space.
Okay.
So I took classes outside.
And how did your clients adapt to that? Were they?
They loved it.
They loved it?
They were grateful. I was grateful. I still get emotional.
Aw.
I do. Because, that time was so hard.
Personally, as a business owner?
As a business owner, and just, we all were going through stuff, just as a human.
Yeah.
And to have people who are like, we got you.
They were supporting you.
Oh, I was like, if you got me, I definitely got you.
No, that's so beautiful, because I feel like...
Not to be a little, be up here tearing up on y'all, you know what I'm saying? But
no, I mean, that's such true and raw emotion, because I think during the pandemic, we were all walking in the unknown. But it sounds like you guys had a community that was walking together, which is really a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you created that, which I guess probably partly triggers the emotion, because you created that. Yeah,
because I realized, and during that time, I started speaking to other gyms about it and other business owners. I was like, if you don't have a community, you're about to find out. Because your people are going to say, there are other things that are more important. I'm not coming anymore, or I'm not going to pay you anymore. For people to still be willing to pay you when nothing was open,
yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And I bet they needed that.
They did.
They needed that. They needed that, because there was such a loss for everything else. So to have that one.
Absolutely.
They needed that.
Absolutely. So, Not to get emotional, but glad to still be here.
No, I mean, that's a very, it was a hard time, I think, I'm sure as a business owner, there was probably a lot of doubt and fear of,
absolutely,
are we going to get through this?
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, outside of the gym, I know that you're a very powerful female entrepreneur, and I admire you and, I'm a big fan. So your motivational speaking and mindset, can you tell me where you're going with that, how you got started?
So the funny thing is, I've always been that person.
Powerful. Like your energy is like I don't know if you can feel it, but
like I've always been that person. So I remember when everybody was on like TikTok, not TikTok, what was it before? Snapchat. And I would wake up every day and go on Snapchat. I'd be like, get up, let's go. Like that, this has been going on ever since I can remember. But as I've gotten older and really developed a better understanding of just what that raw energy is, I'm like, yo, people need to get more disciplined. I'm going to talk about how I stay disciplined and share this with other people. People need to be more organized in their businesses. I'm going to show them different ways, especially since I messed up a lot of stuff in the beginning. I'm going to show them how to do that. So now every day I try to wake up and put information out into the universe, something of value, so people can take that with them, and it helps the course of their day. That's like my goal every day. I'm like, I want to say something or do something that's going to touch one person. I don't need a million people. Yeah. I just want to touch one.
Touch one. I like that. I always say discipline is the highest form of self-love.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
I think actually I might have taken that from Will Smith, but
I'm going with it. It's okay. Will, if that's you, we give you credit, bro.
How do you teach people discipline, or here's a path that we can start to?
So before we even talk about discipline, we talk about consistency.
That makes sense.
We work on being consistent, because what is discipline? Discipline is consistency, right?
Right.
Consistency. And as you become more consistent, what evolves is your discipline. Okay. Right?
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
And discipline then becomes continuing to do the things you need to consistently do, even when you don't want to.
And that's where the results lie.
Yep.
And that's probably what got you where you are today. A lot of people might look at you and be like, oh, well, she's in great shape and she has this wonderful business, but it was the discipline.
It's discipline
that got you.
It's discipline. I tell people I'm not special, I'm not smarter, I just outwork and I'm disciplined.
Wow,
that's it.
Powerful.
That's really it. I wake up every day at 3 a.m.
You wake up at 3 a.m.?
3 a.m. every day.
Tell me your morning routine. Share it.
I wake up every day at 3 a.m. I start working out at 3:30. I work out from 3:30 to 4:30, shower, get dressed. I head into my office. I open my building, right? Now, I have a gym. Why do I work out early? Because that's my time. That's the only time I can do it uninterrupted. And I never miss that time. Monday through Friday, that's my time.
Wow.
I go in my office, get my morning work done, teach a couple classes, get my noon work done, regimented, done at 7, go home, do it again. Like, I'm not breaking that routine for anybody.
That is powerful. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We're Dr. Mark and Liz from Marriage Matters, a show that inspires, instills hope, and empowers couples to weather the stresses of married life.
Join us each week to hear how couples, real couples like you, have overcome challenges that were hurting their marriages, as well as getting expert advice on ways to nurture a happy and healthy relationship.
Tune in Fridays at 4:30 p.m. and Thursdays at 9 a.m. on RVN TV.
The new Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich with brioche buns, mayo, pickles, and a quarter-pound filet as far as the eye can see. Get comfy, it's gonna be a while. This thing's huge. Get the new Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich for just $3.99. It's finger-licking good.
Have you heard? Join me, Heather Darling, weekly for a different spin on politics, business, law, and other key issues you will not want to miss right here on RVN TV.
Look at this crazy calzone from those brainiacs at Little Caesars.
Is it more pizza or more calzone?
Pizza. Calzone. Confused. Pizza. Pizza. Calzone.
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new crazy calzone for $8.49.
Pizza, pizza.
You're still in here?
Oh, yeah.
You're really good.
Perfect timing. Your turn. Nintendo Switch. That's my way to play.
Welcome back. Diva, so we were chatting about your self-discipline, your morning routine. You're getting up at 3:30, working out. What time are you going to bed?
The goal is to be in bed by 9 p.m.
Okay.
It's usually 10,
Okay.
just because it takes me a while to wind down. But the goal is to try to be in bed by 9 p.m.
Okay.
Any less than 5 hours of sleep is not good.
Okay.
I'm not functional.
Okay.
I'm not, again, not special, just just disciplined. So, but I know if I need to function 5.5 hours to 6 hours, that's what I need. So I make sure I'm in bed by 9.
Wow. So for a new client, or if I came to you and I'm like, hey, you know, like I want some of your discipline, can you share this, like some tips how I can get started?
Absolutely. So we start with little things. Like maybe you say to me, you're like, oh, Diva, I need to get more disciplined about what I eat. Well, you know what you're going to do? Pack your lunch this week. You go out to dinner, do you? You order Dunkin' Donuts on the way in. Bad idea, but do you?
Okay.
But you're going to pack your lunch this week.
So it's a small change. You
Absolutely.
start with one thing.
Yeah, you can't change everything at once. Nobody
Okay.
can.
Okay.
We're not that good. We're not that good.
So small changes will lead into the bigger.
Absolutely. And that's what's going to help you be consistent.
And that's what you're saying is key. It's the consistency.
It is. And the more consistent you are, the stronger that discipline will be.
Are you a fan of writing down your goals or your vision? Do you have like
Absolutely. I journal all the time.
You do?
I journal all the time. I journal every day. I have 4 things, like kind of they're not necessarily affirmations, but they're things I want for myself in my life and my business right now. And every day I say them out loud and write them down in a journal. Literally the same thing.
Is this
every
part
day.
of your morning routine? Or
That is part of my morning routine.
Okay.
And now in the evenings, before I go to bed, if I don't just pass out, which usually I try to meditate and I pass out so fast because I'm tired.
I bet. I think you're up at 3:30.
I'll put my headphones on. I'll listen to a meditation just
Okay.
to calm my mind before I go to bed.
Okay.
It helps.
The meditation.
Same thing, positive affirmations, reaffirming self-worth, blessings on my business and things being lucrative, things like that. I put all that in my subconscious while I'm going to sleep.
Wow, I love that. Are these things you share with clients that come into Hard Work No Excuses? Like, will they get to dip into?
A lot of them follow me, and when they ask, I do.
Okay.
I don't, they'll be like, Diva, how do you do this? You get up so early. How do I get up so early? I go to bed.
You're not up surfing the phone. You are asleep.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
It won't work.
It won't
I
work.
promise you. It won't work.
What has been your hardest challenge or biggest obstacle in opening this business?
I would say the thing, I just talked about this recently. One of the hardest things I did was the hiring. Hiring and firing are the most difficult things you're ever going to do in your business. Hiring, firing, team development.
Okay.
Because nobody in a business plan allots for how much time it's going to take to properly train your team.
And I feel like with you probably want people to be in alignment with your core beliefs and values. So that is
crucial.
Okay.
That is crucial.
Okay.
But they still need to be trained. And you have to take time to train them. Okay. I don't care if you have, now we're still a smaller company, so it's not like I got video models that they watch and check up. You still have to take time to train them.
Okay.
You might think, oh, I'm going to train this front desk person and they're going to learn this week. No. It's going to take them a couple weeks, might take them a couple months, or they might forget. Like, it really takes time to train people to be as efficient, as effective as you want them to be. It takes more time than people think.
Wow. What's your goal for your business in the next, like, 5 years?
You know what's honest? The goal for the brick and mortar, the gym, is I want to actually buy my own building. And I've been saying that even before I got in the building I was like, I want to buy the building.
Is this on your morning affirmations?
It is.
It is.
I want to buy the building.
Okay.
And the other thing I want to do is with my coaching services, I want to find more ways to reach more people.
When you say coaching, this is not physical
No,
coaching.
I'm talking about the life coaching programs, the Do Work method I have.
Can you tell me about the Do Work method?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the Do Work method is a program that I created. Is business and life mastery. The businesses I work with are small and mid-sized businesses, and the clients I coach are usually small to mid-sized business owners, and I get executives too, people who want somebody with a different perspective, because I don't have the typical life coach perspective. I'm not going to tell you everything's going to be okay, because sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not, but you still have to make a choice. You still have to make a decision. Might have 2 sucky choices, but you still got to make a move. So I teach people to be active, because being still, there's no growth.
Okay. So is this one-on-one coaching?
Yes.
Is there workbooks
Yes, they have. So when they sign up for the program, they actually have access to my online module, which gives them a whole program I've created with worksheets and stuff like that. And then when we do one-on-one coaching, like, via Zoom, or if they stop by my office, we kind of talk, we discuss, I see what's going on, I take notes, we recap, and then I give them a course of action moving forward.
Okay, so it's like you're like a life coaching here, which is really, really powerful. And I actually feel that this is like a newer, more modern way of helping people, like, rather than some people are like, hey, talk to my therapist. I feel like life coaching is about action.
It is. And don't get me wrong, people still need therapy. And to be honest, I've told some of my clients, like, I'm not your therapist. Like, this particular issue is a therapy issue.
So you'll refer them to
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Like, I know my boundaries. Okay. Not to say I can't tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that, but if things start to sound different than that to me, I'm like, you might need to go to therapy. This is a little more deep rooted than what you're telling me.
Okay.
And that's just a sense. When they do, I have a couple therapists I know, I'll refer them out, or they'll refer them to someone else. We get them matched up.
Now, do you have a coach in your world to hold you accountable?
I have a couple people. You know what's funny? I've never really had a coach, and somebody asked me that. I said, I haven't had a coach, but I'm always studying the game, if that makes sense.
Who are you studying? Like, who are the people that you learned from?
So I'll tell you, when I grew up, my mother is actually a preacher. And yeah, she's a minister, still full-time minister to this day. So I've always had that positive influence around me, that reassurance, that staying focused. But I grew up on Les Brown. Like, so where most kids might have been listening to music in the car, we weren't. I was listening to Les Brown from the time I was a child.
Wow. That's
like
powerful.
that's how I grew up. I was listening to Tony Robbins as a child. So I guess between that, having a mother who was a preacher, like just constantly, and I've had different mentors in different stages of my life who were always positive and reaffirming, like that energy, came out of me, and they saw that I had that energy, and they helped push me and guide me forward. So yeah.
I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and I
I
feel like your energy might be equal to his.
I wish. Tony's the big guy, but I know women in general have a specific series of needs. Now, my clients are not all females. I have men and women. But I know a lot of the times when I'm talking to women, we're addressing things just a little differently, because our challenges are a little different. And it's important for me just as a female entrepreneur, to make sure women know they need to have confidence when they enter rooms, they need to be assertive when they enter rooms, and they do not have to back down.
I love that. I feel like a lot of women do struggle with their confidence or owning it, or, you know, finding their purpose or their passion. And how would you navigate around that to help somebody find their passion?
So one of the things we talk about in the Do Work method a lot is service. And when it comes to finding your purpose, if you start to serve others, you're going to feel something in certain spaces like, like I did this, or, you know, I was donating here, or I was helping people, you know, I went to a program and I helped the little girls do their hair, and I did this. Like, you'll start to see things that speak to you. One of the other analogies I use for helping people figure out their purpose and their passion, little grim, but just roll with me here. I tell them, I said, if you had 6 months to live, what would you be doing? What is important to you? Who would you want to spend time with? What job would you really want to be doing?
Wow.
And once you start to say, well, you know what, I really don't spend enough time with my mother, I need to spend more time with my mom, then that's what you need to be doing now. Why would you wait until it was a grim situation? Or, I really hate my job, or I really wanted to open my own salon, so why aren't you doing that now?
Wow. That brings, just the way you said that, I feel like I have 5-6 thoughts going through my head, and it gives me a lot of clarity and perspective. Diva, can you tell the audience where they can reach out to you if they want coaching, or they even want to drop into the gym and try a workout? I know I do.
Absolutely. So if you would love to work with me with any online coaching, feel free to reach out to divarichards.com. My handle on every social media platform is Diva Richards. And if you would love to check out my facility, you can come to Hard Work No Excuses Gym. We are right in Marlton, New Jersey, 14 East Stowe Road. We would love to have you, and our website is hardworknoexcuses.com.
Diva, thank you so much for being here. You're absolutely amazing.
Thank
Your
you.
energy is fire.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We look forward to next week, Fire from Within.